Hello, my friend, and thank you for joining me today for my S.O.E. Roadster watch review by Trafford Watch Co. And, I wouldn't blame you if you're wondering, Orakix, why are you doing a review on a mechanical watch when your channel is clearly directed towards smartwatch users? And the answer to that question is actually really cool. So, sometime last year, I started my Watch Orakix designer interview series, and the very first episode, I actually interviewed Nathan Trafford from Trafford Watch Co. And back then, he was a face designer just like myself with a dream to create an actual mechanical watch brand, basically taking one of his digital designs and turning it into a real mechanical watch. That day is finally upon us. The S.O.E. Roadster has been born. So why don't we go ahead and take a quick look at it. Now, there's going to be a handful of these reviews done by actual mechanical watch guys, so I'm going to go ahead and let them do all the techie, nerdy stuff about the specifications, although there are a few things that I would like to mention. The diameter is 41 millimeters. The diameter plus the crown is 43 millimeters. Lug to lug, it's 48 millimeters. The thickness is 11.8 millimeters and 12.7 millimeters with the crystal. This watch, in Trafford Watch Co., is very special in a sense that the S.O.E. Roadster is designed in reference to an amazing true story about three international race car drivers turned spy and called the Special Operations Executive. They were sent to Europe by Winston Churchill when the war hit. Every aspect of this watch has a reason for the design that relates to this story. And I'll talk a little bit more about the story as we go through this video, but I highly recommend checking out the Trafford Watch Co. website to find out a lot more about it, and I'll put a link in the description. As a whole, well, Trafford Watch Co. nailed it. And I'm not talking the type of nailed it that means it was an absolute disaster like on that Netflix show. I mean, shaking my fist, clutching a handful of cash, shouting, "Just take my money already!" Nailed it. The colors are beautiful and reference the race cars that these men drove. I've only had the pleasure of seeing the blue one in person, but they all look absolutely stunning in their pictures. And stripes. If you don't know about stripes, well, stripes just make everything better. I love the chronograph. I always prefer a chronograph watch, and you can tell by my designs that I love them dearly. I do have to admit, though, that this one trades the running seconds with a 24-hour dial, which I don't love. However, considering the story behind this watch and why the 24-hour dial has such significance, then it's a trade that I'm more than willing to make. As far as the date wheel, white with red accents is my favorite color combo, and red with white accents, well, I don't hate that either. The date always pops when checking this watch, even on its digital counterparts, and I'm always happy when it does, even if I already know the date. The soft leather of the band feels good, and you can tell that the band is high quality. I love the white stitching on the black. It's an extra detail that again just pops when you see it. There are 3 colors to choose from as far as bands, and it is a 20mm full grain leather quick release band. The bezel is a unidirectional rotating bezel, and the clicks feel very satisfying. They are stiff but not too stiff and click into place nicely, making it easy to find the desired spot accurately. I'm not a huge fan of having numbers on the bezel because I am more of an indice guy, but considering numbers are a large aspect of racing, timing, or measuring, naturally this watch needed numbers. The lume is nice and bright. The numbers are very clear. I was actually surprised when I saw that there were 2 different colors, though. It's interesting, and I've never done that in one of my designs, but if you haven't noticed the theme of this face yet, then you will now when I say this for the 3rd time. It pops. Again, the detail just plain pops off this watch and makes you want to just keep looking at it. The lugs aren't my style, however. I respect the decision to design it this way. The lugs reference the exposed piping on the exterior of the cars. They do feel kind of small to me, though, when compared to the rest of the watch, and they feel like they're a little too far away from the case as well. They are angled perfectly to have a nice, comfortable fit, though. The back of the watch is something really special. It's dedicated to the spy aspect of the story, where the front is dedicated to these brave men's racing careers. You can find Churchill's quote, "Set Europe ablaze," with the S.O.E. Roadster logo of an airdropped crate. Each of these three color options for this watch reference one of these three men making up the S.O.E. Each of them come with a custom booklet integrated into the box that dives deeper into the lives and adventures of each racer. If you want the full story, you will have to buy all three watches. And that's one of the things that I was talking about that kind of sets Trafford Watch Co. and this watch apart, is that every detail about this watch is interwoven into this story and taken reference from. And it's definitely cool to see that, because one thing about having watches is it's fun to talk about them and show them off. That's part of the reason why we like them. This gives you plenty to talk about. Speaking of buying these watches, though, March 1st, 2021, the S.O.E. Roadster Kickstarter will be launched. Super early bird pricing is $250. The regular early bird is $300. Regular Kickstarter price is $350. And I believe those are savings of about 50%, 40%, and 30% off the eventual retail price of, I believe, $500. One last thing about this watch that I would like to talk about is its connection to the smartwatch community. As I mentioned before, this watch was born from a concept that was originally designed on the Facer platform for smartwatches. As far as I know, this is the first watch to make that transition from smartwatch to mechanical. It's not uncommon for mechanical watch brands to have digital versions of their watches, especially brands that have both smart and mechanical, like Fossil, for example. But Trafford Watch Co. decided to go the other way, and I'm so thankful they did. If you're unsure if you want to jump on this Kickstarter, you can always try before you buy. You can find the digital versions of these watches on the Facer platform to try them out. These links will also be in the description. I could go on for quite a while longer about this video, but I think you should head over to the Kickstarter or TraffordWatchCo.com to see more. You can also check out my interview with the man behind the brand, Nathan Trafford, in episode 1 of my Watch Orakix designer interview series. I really am blown away with how much story and information he's managed to pack into this tiny little machine. I must say that it is definitely one for your collection, and if you're traditionally a smartwatch user, then you're kind of curious about mechanical watches, then this is a great way to get a quality watch for a great deal. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Alright, here goes nothing. Literally nothing. Okay.